Aloha, everyone. So good to see you guys all here on Facebook Live. Getting ready to fly out to Seattle tomorrow. Having an amazing Huna weekend up in Seattle. And I wanted to do a quick Facebook Live just to talk a little bit about something that is really important to you achieving your results. For those of you that I haven't met, my name is Dr. Matt James, and I've been a part of this company, the Empowerment Partnership, since 1992. Celebrating, 26 years doing this stuff this year? That's a crazy amount of time. Started this stuff when I was really young. And NLP, or Neuro-Linguistic Programming, is a study of how successful people achieve their results. So let's start off with something really simple. I think what people want to do in life is get certain results. Results get you happiness. And when you have happiness, you have a level of being content with your relationship, with your health and fitness, with your career. There's a saying that comes from NLP that doesn't just have NLP as the main focus. It transcends the idea of NLP. And that is that there is no such thing as failure. There's only feedback. No such thing as failure, only feedback. I want you to think about this for a moment. So NLP is a study of how successful people achieve results. I call this one the, who's that guy that invented the light bulb? What is it? I was going to say Einstein, but it's not Einstein. It's Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison, I call this the Thomas Edison theory. So NLP is looking out at how successful people handle what you call failures. Now, let's be clear. Can you fail at something? Yes or no? The answer is yes. You can fail in business. 80% of companies that start off fail within their first year. You can fail at finishing a race. I was coaching a guy who had ran a whole bunch of Ironman, and one of the very first Ironman that he ever ran, he failed to finish. And they said, you failed. You failed to finish the Ironman. A person who believes in failure believes in the path being completely over. So I call it the Edison theory because when NLP was being invented back in the 70s, NLP looked out, the people who invented it, looked out at how successful people operate. What is their mindset? What is it that the mind does that causes a successful person to be successful versus an unsuccessful person to have failures? And one of the big principles that you see with successful people is they refuse to buy into failure. Yes, you can fail at winning a race. You can fail in a business. I've had companies not do well, and you could say, I failed. However, the moment you say, I have failed at something, what happens is you bring that path to completion. The moment you say, I have failed at doing something, you have shut down the path, you have turned off the energy, you have shifted your mindset and put yourself into a role of, I can't do anything else. Because failure is finito. Finito is Italian for finished. Failure means you're finished. It's over. Stick a fork in it. People who are successful don't see failure as being final. People who are successful see failure as an opportunity to learn. There's a great book that you guys should read. If you haven't already done so, I recommended this on Facebook a while ago, called The Slight Edge. The Slight Edge is a great book. When I recommended it, a lot of my longtime students said to me, yeah, we already heard this from you. It's the little things that you do every day that add up to something great. I've been doing this stuff since I was 11. I did my first NLP training at 11. Walked on fire with Tony Robbins, and just blew my mind. I heard this idea, there is no failure, only feedback, 36 years ago in my life. And it made sense to me at that time because I realized you can have a crappy day. I do. We all have crappy days. And Donnie just posted, I'm reading it right now. Good job, my man, good job. And Donnie's all the way from Australia checking this out. And Donnie, you were in the first practitioner training that I ever taught. What was it? It was in Melbourne. It was in Melbourne. I remember the room. There was a big pillar right off to the right-hand side. I talk about that training every once in a while. In that training, you heard me talk about this very principle. You heard me talk about this very idea that as a successful individual, you can still have crappy days. You can still have down moments. You can still have moments where you feel like you just were not able to deliver. How do you switch from the mindset of being successful? The way you switch into that mindset of being successful is you ask yourself, what can I learn from this failure in order to pick myself back up? There's a follow-up book for those of you that have read The Slight Edge. I want to recommend a new book to you guys. It's called Peak, P-E-A-K, Peak, by a guy named Erickson and Poole. I read the book, and again, it's kind of saying what The Slight Edge said, but the difference is that in the book Peak, what it says is that you have to have some way of taking feedback. I got inspired after having read that book, and I recommend it to all my clients that I coach one-on-one. And in the book, it says, those of you who want to continuously kick it up a notch, you have to be willing to get out of your comfort zone and find a way to take feedback. You hit this ceiling sometimes in life. There's a ceiling up here above my head. And sometimes we feel like we hit that ceiling in our relationship, in our career, in our health and fitness. And in the book Peak, it says people that continuously improve and grow and evolve, one of the things that they do is they push through that ceiling by taking feedback. If you keep bumping up against something, do it in a different way. Shift your approach, shift your path. To shift your path, you got to shift your mindset. That this thing that just occurred, this failure, this thing that I didn't want to have happen, what has it taught me about how I can operate instead? I don't know if Edison failed to invent the light bulb 1,000 times. I had one student yell out in a training. It was 10,000 times that he failed when he was quoted by an interviewer who had said to Thomas Edison, "You have failed over 1,000 times at inventing the light bulb. When are you going to quit?" And he said, "I've discovered 1,000 ways how not to do it. 1,000 ways how not to do it. I just need to find one way as to how to do it." One way how to do it. Yeah, Pamela right here is saying it was 10,000. I don't know, but at some point I bet you he lost track. At some point I bet you Edison lost track of how many failures he had. How do you keep going back to the workbench to try to invent something that you have failed at so many times? The way you do it is you look at each of those failures as a learning opportunity. This is why NLP says there is no failure, there's only feedback. That you look at this failure and you go, okay, so I did fail. So I didn't finish the race. So this business plan that I had didn't work out. What is the feedback that I got to take? And am I willing to shift? Am I willing to shift and look for another way? Pamela, you just said it right there perfectly. Shift, looking for another way. Creativity, persistence, and it's your total willingness to step out of that box. Sometimes getting out of the box is getting out of your comfort zone. Sometimes getting out of the box to push through, what is it called, outside of the box thinking. To do outside of the box thinking, sometimes you got to push through the box, and that's not the most comfortable thing. So taking this idea, taking this concept and bringing it into our discussion that we're having right here, I wanted to take some questions. I wanted to talk for about 10 minutes and take some questions on it. Brian, that's a super easy one. NLP class in Boston? Of course, man. My mom's from Boston. We totally do NLP classes in Boston. You should check out our website, nlp.com. Pretty easy one to remember. We took some feedback that the internet might stick around. We've been online since 1994. How's that for crazy? I remember when we first got online, I would go teach classes and I would put up our email address on the screen and people would look at me and they would go, I don't even have an email address. What's this whole email thing all about? I would have to actually educate them. That was pretty fun. I remember those days. NLP in North or South Carolina. Kim, sorry, no, the nearest place we got for you is all the way down in Miami or all the way up in Boston. We are looking at expanding on the East Coast. And check out our website, nlp.com or empowermentpartnership.com. We got a great list of all of our NLP trainings. It's worth flying to one of our events. Most people, they charge $4,000 or $5,000 for their practitioner training. We do it for under $200. Under $200, we give NLP away. Again, Tiffany, can't go to every state. I'm from Hawaii. I don't even get to do NLP in Hawaii. How's that? It's horrible. I should do NLP in Honolulu. Chicago. Charlie, yeah, man, we're going to Chicago. First time we've been back in Chicago for 4 or 5 years. So check out the website for the dates. We'll also be putting them up here on Facebook. And do any of you guys have any questions about NLP? This is like live. Ask me anything you want. I saw not Brian. When will you be back in? David, dude, I'm going to Seattle tomorrow. So I'll be back in Seattle in about 24 hours. I'll be back in Seattle in about 24 hours to teach a Huna weekend. Now, the Seattle practitioner training, that one doesn't come until all the way in April, I think. But please don't quote me on the dates, man. I go where they tell me to go. Stacy, thank you so much. She said I did the training in Denver. You must have done it with John, Dr. John over there in Denver. It's totally worth going to it. I mean, most places, again, they charge $4,000, and you get to absolutely handle this and get to the NLP training for, under $200. Kim, how do I get over guilt or shame after leaving my first husband? Kim, my heart goes out to you. I've had a relationship end as well, kids from it. You can walk away with some heavy baggage from that. I would highly recommend that you get my book. It's on Amazon, called Mental and Emotional Release. Mental and emotional release is a technique that helps people let go of anger, sadness, fear, hurt, and guilt. It's a technique that's been clinically proven to work against depression, completely getting rid of the depression in the clinical study. It's there in the book. I would also recommend looking up my new book, Ho'oponopono, the Hawaiian Forgiveness Process. If you go to Amazon and type in Dr. Matt, those are two really powerful resources to help you get over the guilt and any shame after getting out of a relationship. It truly helped me. It helped me, and after a marriage ending of 14 years, I needed to be kind of in a place to wipe that slate clean. I mean, talk about, we're kind of talking a little bit here about failure versus feedback. When you have a relationship end for 14 years, you sometimes feel like you failed. And Ho'oponopono, Ho'oponopono, Ho'oponopono is a forgiveness process. And any of you who have done it, I think a few of you just put a whole bunch of hearts out there and thumbs up. Ho'oponopono helps to get rid of shame and guilt for some people. That it brings in forgiveness. MER, Mental and Emotional Release, is my other book, and I would highly recommend it. Sally just said that, yes, it saved my marriage. Sally, I so appreciate that. Sally, were you just in the practitioner training recently and you came up to me and talked about how the forgiveness process helped out and saved your marriage from breaking up? I'm not sure if that's the same person. We just had a Sally in a training recently come up to me and thank me. I appreciate you sharing that. That was so cool, Sally. I totally remember you coming up to me. And Austin, that was a great way to start off the year. It was an amazing. So look, Sally's on here, and I know that if your relationship already ended, Ho'oponopono can help you with forgiveness. Can absolutely help you shift your thinking about that as well. Whitney's also given some props to Ho'oponopono. I appreciate that. There was someone previously who talked about how can NLP help with my communication. Well, neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, that's one of the major things that we teach at my company, the Empowerment Partnership. And NLP is a study of how the language of the mind affects your body. How do you step into the language of your successful mindset and transform and shift your actions? So the whole fundamental, like a cornerstone of NLP, is improving your communication. I have a book coming out that I'm co-authoring with one of my other guys, Dr. John, who someone just recently said she had done the practitioner training with Dr. John in Denver. Awesome guy. We're finally writing an NLP book. That's going to be coming out this year. We're going to do our best to get that book out this year so that those of you who can't make it to the training, we're doing our best to get as many resources out there as we possibly can. And what I would highly recommend is if you can't make it to one of our trainings, go to empowermentsuccess.com. We have some of these things online. Empowermentsuccess.com has some online classes to help you with rapport, to help you with sensory acuity, and to help you with your communication skills. Because look, anybody can become a great communicator. Anybody can become an incredible communicator. And it doesn't matter if you have English as a second language, if you have come from a foreign country. It doesn't matter if you came from this country and English is your second language. Man, my grammar is so horrible sometimes, I feel like English is my second language. And you can become an incredible communicator. Any of you can. The idea that you can't get good at something is a belief in your mind that would prevent you from learning this stuff to begin with. Sometimes you got to start off with getting rid of the beliefs that are holding you back, that are preventing you from even realizing how empowered you are. I've worked with individuals, one of my clients, talk about an inspiring story. I got to brag about one of my clients. She is an amazing woman. She's the fifth child, so family of five, youngest daughter, came from India, was told her entire life, you will never amount to anything because you're a girl and the best thing you can do is find a husband that will take care of you. That was the mindset that she grew up with, where she was told by people. And she's like, I'm better than that. I'm worth more than that. She came to this country with $50 in her pocket, educated herself, went to a really good school, got an incredible career, woke up one day and went, I'm better than this crappy career. I deserve more than this. Set out on her own. Her husband, newly wedded husband, said, you got 6 months. We got enough savings and money for 6 months. If you got to do something, you got to make it happen now. She went down into her basement, started cold calling people in the Midwest. And as she said to me, I laughed out loud when she said this, in the Midwest, she would get on the phone with people and people would be like, where are you calling from? I don't even know what this accent is, because she has an Indian accent. She started cold calling, got a couple of small contracts. Within a few years, her husband had to quit his job, come work for her. A couple of decades later, her company brings in about $300 million a year. Came to this country with $50 in her pocket to running a company. She's talked in front of members of the United Nations. She's been invited to the White House. She's been listed as one of the most 100 influential powerhouse women in this country. When I hear someone say to me, I can't do it because, and you fill in any blank, for every person that says I can't do something, I can find someone that was able to do it with a probably even worse background. And if there's one thing that you take away from this Facebook Live, is you got to start believing in you. You got to know that you have it inside you, that you have the ability to get over the past failures that you have gone through, take feedback from it, and begin to move forward on your path to truly achieve that happiness that you deserve in your life. You start believing in you. You start believing in what it is that you are able to accomplish, and you can do just about anything. If you start believing in who and what you are, and really just apply simple principles like what I have failed at in the past has taught me to become who I am today. And who I am today, I can improve on tomorrow. You know, when I was in my mid-20s, I hit a level of obesity. I'm 5'9". I'm not Tony Robbins tall. I'm 5'9". I weighed 235 pounds. That's obese. You can check it out online. I was obese, and I could either call myself on failure, I could blame my genetics, I could blame my height, I could blame anything. And what I had to do was I had to believe in myself. David, I hope you can appreciate that I didn't get permission to give her name. I work with her one-on-one. She's one of my 4 coaching clients. I only take on 4 clients a year. I'd love to share it. As soon as she gives me permission to share it, I will share her name 100%. I want to give her mad props, shout her name from tall buildings. And I'm hoping to encourage her to write a book about it, write a book about her journey. Anyway, I had a moment in my life where I had fallen down on the path and hit a level of obesity. You don't just go into the gym and do one workout and obesity's gone. You don't eat one salad and all of a sudden you're fit again. It's the things that you do every single day. That's the principle in the slight edge. This morning I worked out. Tomorrow morning I'm going to work out. I'm going to wake up every single day and work out, and I'm not going to expect to have a perfect beach body after every workout. I'm going to just like brick by brick build my health and fitness. Brick by brick build my loving and caring relationship. Brick by brick continue to build this career that I've been doing now for 26 years. You don't expect success to happen overnight. Some of you have seen me in my live trainings. We have 100, 120 people in the room. I remember my very first event that I taught in Honolulu, there were 3 people in the room. 3 people in the room in my very first event. It was a 3-day weekend training, and on the Monday, which was an optional Huna day, 2 people decided not to go to it. That's how awesome the training was. I brought people from my office because I didn't want to teach someone one-on-one. I wanted to teach a group of people. Now I'm going up to Seattle. We got about 40 people in that Huna weekend. Austin practitioner training, we had about 120 people in the room. I'll be teaching in San Diego in a couple of weeks, and we're already over 100 people. That stuff doesn't happen overnight. You got to believe in you and just put those little thing, and continue to improve. Rebecca, I love what you said. I have a vision to improve patient satisfaction scores and healing rates. I really believe that NLP is the key to making this possible. I appreciate that. NLP is probably one part of what it is that you are going to be able to do to take those satisfaction rates and improve it. Because with the right mindset, anytime there's a dip, and dips happen, you realize I need to get some feedback. How do I make a course correction? That's a phrase that I use a lot in the NLP trainings. Like a pilot taking off, and they get in mid-flight and they hear from the plane ahead of them, there's turbulence ahead. They don't freak out. They go, all right, let's find another way. Let's go over it. Let's go under it. Let's go around it. Whatever it is that I need to do, I'm going to do it to get to where it is that I need to be. Cheryl, that's so cool. You're going to be there? I'm going to see you on Friday. We start right at 10 a.m. on Friday. Registration is about 30 minutes before that. So Friday, and I know it's not technically in Seattle. It's slightly north. It's like 30 minutes north of the airport. And hey, that's all right. And it's close enough to Seattle. How's the weather up there? Do I need to bring a jacket? Whew. Orange County, Huna in Orange County. We did a Huna weekend in San Diego at the end of last year. I don't know, but we're going to be in Orange County at the end of the year doing an NLP training. Check out our website. Check out empowermentpartnership.com or NLP.com. And Asia, you'll be at the one in Florida next month. You're going to be in the amazing hands of Dr. John Ryan. A lot of people on here have done trainings with Dr. John, and I haven't gotten to meet them personally. Dr. John, awesome trainer. You're also going to have Pega there. Pega's our other trainer, and she's with me. She's with Dr. John. She's going to be in Miami with you guys. You guys are going to have a great time in Miami. And Cheryl's like, yes, cold. Bring your jacket and umbrella. Does it rain in Seattle? Oh yeah, that's right. It does occasionally, doesn't it? I know. I'm teasing. Susan Palmer Wood, she's like, love Dr. John and Pega. Very cool. Yeah, so those of you who are taking trainings in Miami or Boston, you guys are going to be with Dr. John. You guys are going to be in good hands there. Pega, I have a hashtag Pega rocks. I love that. I wonder if Pega's on here. Pega's probably got a big ear-to-ear grin on that one. David's warning me it's 40 degrees up there. When are you guys coming back to Southern California? If Southern California includes San Diego, I'm going to be teaching my practitioner training in San Diego in 2 weeks. So Seattle this weekend, San Diego the next. And notice the color shift and the ear-to-ear grin. My 11-year-old daughter wanted to come and take NLP. She's going to be at the San Diego Prac with me. She's going to be at the San Diego practitioner training in 2 weeks. She's going to fly over from Kona, and she wants to take NLP. Her brother talked about it and talked it up so much that she's flying in. That's why I got this big ear-to-ear grin. My girl's going to be there and get to learn some NLP at the age of 11. She said to me, she said, well, Dad, you learned this at 11, so I'm 11, so I guess it's time to learn it. I was like, okay. Got to prepare for my girl to be learning the NLP stuff. Yeah, Mark, awesome, I know. Thank you so much. By the way, Mark, you spelled her name right. Skylar with an A. Should love you for that. Should appreciate you. Mark, you're going to see her at Huna because she's going to be at Huna also in March. Any more questions? Because these Facebook Lives, I like to keep them to about 30 minutes, keep them highly focused. And I know we've kind of been scattered by talking about when our next event is and when I'll be in Seattle. If there's not any more questions, I hope this helped out. What was this? Oh, tomorrow is like so great. Your daughter will be learning NLP. Hey, thank you guys so much. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for being so attentive and asking some incredible questions. Got a whole bunch more of these scheduled now that they're rolling along with the year. So if you want to see our schedule, check out NLP.com, check out empowermentpartnership.com, and we're going to be coming to as many cities as we possibly can. I'm getting as many trainers out there to do this stuff, and we'll continue to grow with you guys and truly help to empower the planet. That's our mission. All right, thank you guys. Until next time, aloha.